Hi friends, I'm Ashley and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 8 YA fantasy books that are coming out this November. And at the time of filming this video, it's Tuesday, October 28th, which is crazy. I can't believe it's already almost the end of October. Like, I don't even know where the month went. And on that note, like, it's almost the end of the year, which is also crazy. I don't even know where this entire year went. It just seems like every year and every month just goes by faster and faster. But anyways, let's talk about book number 1. So as usual, I'm going to be talking about these in order of release date from soonest to latest. So book number 1 comes out on November 4th, and it's A House Saphir by Marissa Meyer. So this one is a romantasy and a murder mystery that's inspired by the French folktale Blue Bear. So our main character in this one is Mallory, and she comes from a long line of witches. However, she herself, the only magical ability she has is the ability to see ghosts, and it's not really a useful ability. So her and her sister make out a living by selling fake spells and conducting tours of the infamous mansion where the first of the Saphir murders took place. However, one day the heir of the Saphir estate ends up showing up, and he believes in Mallory and her sister's magical abilities, and so he offers them a large sum of money if they can get rid of the ghost of his ancestor that killed his wife that is haunting the estate. And so Mallory accepts the job. However, soon after that, murders again start to happen at the mansion, and she now has to figure out who is behind these murders, get rid of the ghost, and also uphold the illusion of being able to perform witchcraft, and also throw into that she also might be slowly falling in love with the heir of the house. Book number 2 also comes out on November 4th, and it's Gilded in Vengeance by Lyssa Mia Smith. So this one is a standalone that is set among the glittering magical elite of late 1800s New York society. And I'm going to read the very beginning of the description because it's very intriguing. So it reads, 2 girls attended a magical ball, but one was never seen again. At least that's what those who betrayed her believed. So I'm already very intrigued. So our main character in this one is Emmy, and she is a girl who was betrayed. And she was framed by the Society of the Charmed, which is an exclusive club of New York's wealthiest and most magical citizens. And so since she was betrayed, she's been rotting away in jail. That is, until one day her door is busted down. And the one who ends up busting down her door is Jack Fontaine, and he is apparently one of the society's favorite sons. But he says that he has been imprisoned for a crime that he didn't commit. And so the two of them end up partnering up to get revenge for their wrongful imprisonment. Book number 3 also comes out on November 4th, and it's A Fate So Cold by Amanda Foody and C.L. Herman. So this is the first book in a duology, and it takes place in a world where summer reigns for most of the year, but then for 6 brutal weeks, winter rages, obliterating towns and causing lots of death. And in order to defend the nation, magicians end up bonding with powerful summer wands, but it's like a very dangerous duty, so many of these magicians end up dying. And our story follows 2 main characters. So our first character is Dominic, and the most powerful summer wand has ended up awakening for the first time in a century. And so the fact that it has awakened means that catastrophe is on the horizon. And in this world, the wand chooses the magician, and so the wand ends up choosing Dominic. And he is caught completely off guard because he feels like he is not suited at all to wield this wand, and he does not want the responsibility of saving the world on his shoulders. And then our second main character is Ellery, and she has spent years striving to be the perfect summer magician. But also, at the same time, she also kind of fears her power and her magic, and that fear ends up coming true when she accidentally creates the first winter wand. And so now Ellery and Dominic are the chosen 2, and they must work together to save their world. And they also kind of think that since they were brought together to do this, that, hey, maybe they're also brought together to fall in love. But then they find out a horrible truth, that they aren't chosen allies, that they're actual eternal rivals, and in order to save their homes, one of them has to kill the other. And the last line of the description reads, "This is no love story, it's a tragedy." Book number 4 also comes out on November 4th, and it is A Time Traveler's History of Tomorrow by Kendall Kulper. So we have 2 main characters in this story. Our first is Genevieve, who is a science prodigy who can also turn invisible. And our second main character is happy-go-lucky Ash, who has just escaped a sheltered, cultish childhood, and he can manipulate time. And so some things end up happening, and the 2 of them end up being transported back to 1893. So now they find themselves trapped in an unwelcoming, unfamiliar era, with no idea how to return to their own time, or if their own time even exists. And so our story goes from there. Book number 5 also comes out on November 4th, and it's Starchaser by R.M. Gray. And this is the second and final book in a duology. The first book was Nightweaver, and I read this earlier this year, and I loved this one so much. So I'm really excited to pick up this sequel and see where things go. So this one follows our main character, Aster, who comes from a family of pirates. And in the world of this book, land was taken over by Nightweavers, who are beings with magical powers. And so a lot of the humans fled to the seas, and so Aster and her family became pirates. However, one day her family's pirate ship is attacked by Nightweavers. During the battle, her oldest brother ends up being killed, and the rest of her family is taken prisoner and brought to land. And her family ends up being rescued and taken in by a powerful Nightweaver family. And so Aster has always been taught to hate the Nightweavers and to fear them. But now, like, through her interactions with this family, she's beginning to question what she knows and what she was taught. And also, their son ends up promising to help her get revenge for her brother's death, because her brother's killer is still on the loose. And so our story goes from there. I do have a reading vlog with this book up on my channel, so if you want to know more about it, I will post the link to that video down below. Book number 6 comes out on November 11th, and it's Break Wide the Sea by Sara, Holland. So in this one, our main character is 19-year-old Annie, who is heir to a powerful whaling company. So in this book, sailors hunt magic whales, but the sailors themselves live in fear of the Finfolk, who are bloodthirsty fae who sink ships and curse bloodlines. And Annie herself has a curse that she keeps secret from everyone, and that is that she is cursed to turn into a monster, with scales spreading up her arms and claws growing from her fingertips. And the only thing that offers her comfort is her fiance, August, but then she finds out that he has secretly been plotting to take over the whaling company from her. So she, in desperation, ends up making a deal with Prince Silas, who's also rumored to be half Finfolk. But more importantly, he says that he knows how to break her curse. And he says that he will help her if she promises to stop the hunting of the magic whales forever. And so our story goes from there. Book number 7 comes out on November 18th, and it is I'll Find You Where the Timeline Ends by Kylie Lee Baker. Our main character in this one is Mina, and she is descended from a Japanese dragon god, and she has the power to travel through time. And so she has spent her life training to take her place in the Descendants, which is a secret organization whose purpose is to protect the timeline. But since she has moved to Seoul, everything has been falling apart. She has discovered that the Descendants are corrupt, that they erased her sister from the timeline, and that she can't pass calculus, which puts her mission to kiss the cutest boy in her year at risk. And so she decides to team up with a handsome rogue agent because he has a plan to free the Descendants from the corrupt influence and to also hopefully restore Mina's sister. And so our story goes from there. Book number 8 and the final book on this list is Whale of Wrath by A.A. Vora. So this is the second book in the Fifth Realm trilogy, and the first book in the series was Spin of Fate, which I read last year and thoroughly enjoyed, so I am looking forward to the sequel. And just to give you an idea what the series is about, I will read the little blurb of the series on Amazon. So it says, in a world divided by karma-based tyrannic law, 3 teens join rebels to fight against oppressive realm segregation while trying to prevent a war that can destroy the universe. So I definitely recommend this if you are an anime fan, especially if you are a Naruto fan, because this definitely has Naruto vibes. The power system in here gives me Naruto vibes, and also like the characters themselves give me Naruto vibes. And also there's some like really cool battle scenes in here as well. Alright, so those are 8 YA fantasy books coming out this November. Let me know down below which ones caught your eye. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!